Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. We've got a beer from Co-Consprators Brewing Co. So they're out of Brunswick in Melbourne. It's actually a very happening scene at the moment. There's probably at least 6 or 7 breweries in the neighbourhood. And yeah, it's increasing. There's some really good craft bars, good food in that area too. It's like sort of inner, what would you say, inner northwest Melbourne. And yeah, these guys, they were gypsy brewers for a while. And then they ended up, I don't know if they crowdfunded or just sort of worked hard for a while to get their own brew pub. But yeah, pretty cool venue, very industrial. They were always known for their artwork on their cans. And yeah, like they've got like characters for all their brews that they do, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is the Matriarch, and yeah, the West Coast edition of the Matriarch. So yeah, she's sort of she looks like she's a posh old lady, but this one she's probably like from Malibu or somewhere like that. It's pretty cool. So yeah, West Coast IPA, 6.9%. Yeah, as I said, the Matriarch's normally a hazy IPA. It's one of their sort of cult beers. So yeah, now they've got a few variants. They got the West Coast edition, a sour edition, and maybe a dark one. Or there was about 3 or 4 anyway. So yeah, what else can I say about Co-Cons? I think there are 2 couples that run it. So you've got a head brewer. The two wives, they do like the marketing, the financial sort of side of it. I think one of the guys is the head brewer, and then the other guy, he does sales, and he does a lot of the bar work and that as well. But yeah, they've got a good thing going. They're always really friendly. Yeah, good people. It's good seeing good people doing well and they're very like community focused as well. So yeah, as I said, West Coast IPA, 6.9%. Let's get it. They're one of those breweries too that do a lot of different styles. Um, Probably known mostly for their hazies, but I think they're pretty like well rounded as far as styles go. They do have the occasional miss, but there was a stage there when they were growing. They were probably, in all honesty, there's some of their IPAs are probably some of the best in the country, but yeah, it sort of died off a little bit. But yeah, it's in the Crafty Cabal glass. So Crafty Cabal is like a beer sort of marketing company here in Victoria. Or it's Australia wide, but they're based in Melbourne. Looks pretty good. It's like a burnt orange colour, 1 to 2 finger head. Got a bit of chill haze to it. I'd say probably medium body. Carbonation's fairly light, but it's been poured for a while. And I better say hello to the chat. Cheers again, Adam, and Dan and Lee. Prague for next holiday, so researching beer for Canberra breweries, bars. It's on the back burner. But slightly worried there. Yeah. You've got probably the 2 main breweries are Bent Spoke and Capital. They're both deep. Bent Spoke's pretty decent. Capital, I haven't had anything for a while. I have heard they've got a pretty good craft beer bar there. I just can't remember the name of it. It's meant to be half decent. But yeah, compared to what you used to, dude, it's going to be pretty quiet. Canberra. I mean, obviously, Canberra's not the same city as what like Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane are. So that's when you'll get really excited when you go to Melbourne and Sydney. So I'm going to go the old nose. So she's definitely like old school Westie, this one. I can smell the caramel toffee. Biscuity. It's got that feel like it's like sticky toffee. It's definitely pine, grass, getting like big sort of burst of citrus, like pithy grapefruit, like maybe like a blood orange, mandarin or something like that, like sweet citrus. Smells really good. I feel like it's exactly what I'm sort of chasing, like citrus and pine and like caramel. Yeah, when it comes to Westies, I just love that caramel toffee backbone with, as Paul's here now, hashtag epic amounts of pine. Smells good. Just one of those beers, just from scent. I know it's going to be decent. Yeah, cool. I can't wait to catch up, dude. It's going to be so good. Just the epicness of hanging out with a fellow beer tuber. Everyone else does it all the time, and I'm so jealous. And it'll be like it's finally my time. I can just see how loose we're gonna get. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a must that I've got accommodation in Melbourne. And yeah, we definitely got to go. We've got to go to Banks. It's like a fair way out, but we have to get there. Whether we bloody. Yeah. I think that, like, if we're already in the city and it's like during the day, like, and yeah, like, I think Banks, Boat Rocker, Dayton, like, they're all in that same area. So I feel like if we wanted to make a real good day of it, probably head out there early on the train, and just once you get to one, you can get to the others pretty easily. But it's just a pain in the ass to get there initially. It's shit for me mainly because I live on this side of Melbourne. But if you're in Melbourne, it's obviously a lot easier. When you're drinking fresh Banks on tap, it's like, whew. And Boat Rocker, dude, you will absolutely love their shit. Their stouts and like their wild ales, and they do a lot of English shit as well. Like you get like an ESB on tap, and yeah, I really think you'll love Boat Rocker. Anyway, I'm going in. There's a lot of chatting tonight and not much drinking. I think I'm just pumped up. It's a weekend and I feel better. I don't feel tired. Maybe I might do a 10-hour hangout. Oh, yes. Sing to me, baby. Sing to me. So, we have a proper West Coast. Good on you, Co-Cons. So it's got like that chewy, sticky toffee backbone. You're getting like biscuit. I'd say like a white bread. It's got huge like pine and resin. Very like oily. And you're getting sort of like that wet grass, like even like a woodsy sort of vibe. It's even like got a feel like it could have like a touch of rye or something in it. You're getting sort of like I don't know, I feel like it's like a minty, cedary, like a peppery sort of vibe. Mm. And it's got this huge pop of citrus. And yeah, it's like, as I said on the nose, it smelt like blood orange, but it's probably just more like, yeah, just like orange and like, yeah, huge grapefruit. Oh, it's so good. The bitterness is sort of sharp. It sort of gets you straight away, but then it like cuts off. It doesn't sort of linger on. But yeah, very, very nice. Quite impressed. I haven't had many beers from these guys lately. I actually want to do another Brunswick sort of. I used to do quite often. I used to do my little days out, like my little sessions in Melbourne, and I'd just pick an area and I'd go to that area and just go to like 4 bars in the day and then come home. And I want to do Brunswick again because not only have you got these guys, you've got these guys, which is Czech lagers. Czech lagers for days. They've got a Czech lager called Permanent Resonant. It's probably one of the best lagers in the country. Really good feel. Like the dude there just lets you play music, takes requests for songs and doesn't give a shit if you want to hear like thrash metal or fucking jazz, or he'll just do it. And he'll make like toasted sandwiches for you while you're eating, doesn't charge you. And yeah, just a rad place. And it's like real industrial. Like you'll be standing out in the alleyway in the sun and you're just leaning up against an old barrel. So yeah, you got those guys. So and then yeah, Co-Cons, which is the one I'm drinking. And then you got Rocky Ridge that are from WA that are now they have a brew pub here. So it's all happening in Brunswick. And you got another place called Inner North, which is pretty cool. They quite often have like burger pop ups and that sort of shit. Hmm. And they're all like you could walk. There's about 6 of them you could walk to within like sort of 5 minutes from each other. So it's getting very similar to like the Marrickville area in Sydney. And yeah, Adam, when you go to Sydney, that's where I'll be telling you to go. If you've got like a day of doing breweries, that's where I'll be going. You got to get your ass out there and do a bit of a walk around. Mmm, that pithy grapefruit and pine. There is no better combination in a Westie. Yeah, I feel like, dude, unless you had more time, I would scrap Brisbane. Brisbane is good, but it's too far away from where you're sort of based. I feel like if you did Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, yeah, Melbourne's obviously a fair way from Sydney and Canberra, but Brisbane's sort of the same. So, cheers, dude. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have Uber there. It's just it can be because it's so far out, it can be pretty costly. I mean, it does save a lot of time though. And I mean, yeah, between two of us, like it's not going to be that bad. I thought as in like you could go out there, get out that way on train for like a couple of dollars if you had the time, and then you get an Uber from like brewery to brewery while you're out there. Whereas, yeah, if you get an Uber from the city all the way out to where it is, it's pretty expensive, but obviously you're going to save a lot of time. So, yeah, it just depends on what the situation is. Someone's been Googling, I think. What did you do? Type in top craft beer bars or something? That's funny. It's funny because they're two places I've been to. Like Captain Melville's actually pretty cool. It's like one of the oldest pubs in Melbourne, and it's like they have like quite a bit of craft beer, and it's a good place to go if you're like a whiskey connoisseur. Rose Street Market, though, that's so random. That's in Fitzroy. That's like my area that I always hang out. Cool. Yeah, that'd be good. Is that the one you showed me the other day, or is that a different one? I remember as a Rivington one of some kind. Cheers, Stewie. Good to see you, mate. I haven't been about just the last few days, mate. I've felt a bit run down from all the bloody rotating shift work, so I've just taken a few nights off and been trying to catch up on sleep, and I feel heaps better going into the weekend now. So yeah, that's why you wouldn't have probably seen me on your lives or done any lives of my own. Cheers, Disco. Good to see you, dude. Galah. Yeah, I'm real keen for the weekend because like I feel heaps better now. Like and like just yeah, I've had 1.5 beers now and they're just going down so good. I've just got the taste for it now. It'd be amazing like if I took, I don't know, like a month off the beer, how much it would affect me. Like I feel like once you take a month off the beer, obviously, yeah, there'd be so many like benefits to it. But yeah, like it'd be when you have a beer again, it would go down so good, but you probably also get drunk pretty quick, I reckon. Cheers, Lee. Always appreciate the support. Yeah. It's been really quiet too, I've noticed. And not only in the beer community, like a lot of the other communities, there just doesn't seem to be as many people on YouTube of late. Like sometimes you'll do a stream and you'll be like, is there something going on with the algorithm or like there's just not as many people around? Like at the end of the day, I don't really care about the numbers, but yeah, it's like, but everyone's been saying the same thing. There's probably less people doing streams themselves because of StreamYard changing. I mean, in Australia, our weather's getting better, so there's probably less people online as what there normally would be. But I just feel like even in our beer community, like especially in the US, I just feel like a lot of people aren't on there as much as normal. Like even like some of Beer Man streams and that, it's like there's just no way near as many people around as what there normally is. I don't reckon Rose Street Market would be open at this time, buddy. I think you're tripping. It's more of a morning thing. Cheers, Scott. Good to see you, brother. When was the last time you seen Pearl Jam, dude? I see they're coming to Australia soon. Whenever I see something about Pearl Jam now, I think of you just because you're on that video. It was like so rad when you're on there. I've got Oasis and Metallica next year. I'm looking forward to that. No doubt there'll be some other gigs. I was thinking about going to see Green Day. I was a huge Green Day fan as a teenager, but then it got to around the American Idiot time, and after that, I just wasn't into them anymore. But yeah, Pearl Jam, I haven't seen them either, and they'd be a band I'd love to see. There's just so many awesome bands like touring the States and like Asia and Australia and that at the moment. It's cool. It's probably the same in the UK. But yeah, you look at like the last few gigs I've been to or gigs I've got coming up. It's like I've got this, I don't know, like a obsession with English rock music. Most of it seems to be UK bands. Yep. How's the brewery work going, dude? It's cool that you're working there. I love it. Cheers, Stewie. Oh no. Yeah, well that's the reason why I haven't seen Metallica, dude. Like the last time I had tickets to their tour in Australia, James went into rehab, so it got cancelled. And then the time before that, I had a ticket available but couldn't get out of work. And it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's like the man up above doesn't want me to see Metallica. So I'm like, what's going to happen this time? And then, yeah, Oasis, it's like, soon as, or even like the last few years, I thought if Oasis get back together, I'd fucking love to see them. And then all of a sudden, there was all this talk and hype that they were getting back together, and I'm like, come on, come to Melbourne. And yeah, they did. They put up 2 gigs in Melbourne, and you just couldn't get a fucking ticket. It was hard as. And then I'm like, if they do a third, I'm gonna make sure that I fucking get a ticket. I'm gonna bust my ass to get one. And yeah, I got one like front and center, general admission. And it's the same with Metallica. Like I've got 2 really good tickets, so I can't wait. One English or 2 English bands I've seen this year was Royal Blood and The Darkness. And they were both fucking awesome gigs. Royal Blood, for a 2-piece band, they're so noisy. It was fucking unreal. And The Darkness I'd seen when they first come out, and I thought, oh, I want to go see them again because they put on a good live show. Cheers, Disco. We'll have to share a beer again soon, brother. Yeah, cool. Where are you seeing them, dude? You're probably going to the London one, are you? I'd imagine they'd probably have about, what, 6 gigs in London? Like, I know you're down in the south there. I just don't know where they're playing as far as the UK goes. I just know they had a heap of gigs in London, a heap in, like, maybe Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool. Cool. Yeah, that's one thing I keep forgetting about. Because we're coming up to December, I reckon I've got about 4 huge, like, hyped boxes of beers coming, and they're all paid for. So it's like I'll save a few pennies the next few months when it comes to beers. One of them's like a huge box of like hyped American stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. And then yeah, my favorite bar always has their advent calendar. It's like 24 days of December, and then if you want, you can pay the extra and get a big Magnum for Christmas Day. So yeah, I've gone for that. That's going to be awesome. It's a big Magnum of like a wild ale from Dollar Bill Brewing, and they're like one of our best sour breweries in Australia. Cool. I feel like since the pandemic, like gigs have got. I mean, I've always gone to gigs, like ever since I was like early teens. It's just been a thing of mine. There might have been a time, maybe in my late 20s, early 30s, I might not have went to as many, but yeah, I still feel like I've gone to heaps more gigs than the average person. But I feel like, yeah, since the pandemic, there's a lot of people out there that you probably wouldn't normally go to stuff that all of a sudden are. It's like become a big thing now. Like there's a lot of shows that are really, really popular. Like even as I was saying the other day, we had Coldplay do about 6 shows here in Melbourne just last week. It's like absolutely nuts. And like Taylor Swift sold out the MCG 3 times and it holds like 100,000 people. I just feel like, yeah, live music, like it's good for the artists because, like, yeah, they're obviously doing really well with live tours and shit because they don't make the same amount of money they used to make with record sales and that because it's all through fucking digital stuff now. I mean, if you're a popular artist, you probably still do, but it's hard for the struggling ones out there. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, some of their early albums, like it's my teenage years. Absolutely loved them. And boys, you boys in the UK, there's an Aussie band called Southern River Band, and they're doing a tour in the UK soon. They're like a modern version of AC/DC. They're fucking phenomenal. They've toured with The Darkness before. So they're doing a tour in the UK very shortly. If they're in your area and you're looking for something good to go to, I highly recommend. They're absolutely phenomenal live. Sort of like, in all honesty, I'd say it's like a cross between AC/DC and The Darkness because they're real like they're that old school classic Aussie rock sound, but they're real flashy with the whole fucking leather pants and like got the chest out and doing solos with like the long hair flowing and and they do a lot of like banter and shit between songs and yeah, the lead dude Cal, he's an absolute legend. Even if you have a listen to them, have a listen to their stuff. So yeah, Southern River Band. They're probably like one of my favourite bands, like modern bands at the moment. Yeah, cool. That'd be unreal because yeah, that's where they're originally from, isn't it? I love those videos you did of like Pompey's football stuff last year, Scott. That was awesome. When you're running in like onto the field, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's like Melbourne's always been unreal when it comes to entertainment, like fucking phenomenal. And yeah, it's weird, like Marvel Stadium at the moment, just the gigs that they're having there, it's just insane. Like Travis Scott, I'm not a huge like fan of his, like a lot of hip hop and that I don't sort of get into, but he did a couple of gigs at Marvel and they were fucking massive. And then not long after him was Coldplay, and then there was like Dua Lipa or something like that. There's just been so many massive artists there, and it's just like every time they're selling out, like they're doing multiple gigs, and yeah, like next year, for example, I've got Oasis and Metallica in the same week. It's gonna be insane. Yeah, I was really hoping that Metallica were at the MCG because I love when you see that layout when they're in the middle of the ground and like they all sort of like walk, like play in the different parts of the crowd, and it's like a 360 sort of thing. But it looks like at Marvel Stadium they don't have that. They're just going to have the stage at one end of the ground. I'm not really sure. It's just weird. But yeah, it's like so I missed out on the first two gigs of Oasis and I was fucking livid, and then yeah, eventually got a ticket for the third one. So yeah, I'm front general admission for both them and Metallica. So the Oasis is I think it's the 4th of November next year, and then Metallica's the 8th of November. So it's a Tuesday night, then a Saturday night. So it's going to be one of the best weeks of my life. Two bucket list bands. I'll probably take the week off work and I might stay a couple of nights in the city and do some brewery stuff. And mm, yeah, I'm all up for any sort of city that has like a good rock or metal scene. That's why I feel like I'd absolutely love Germany. I've had a lot of people that have been to Germany tell me that they reckon I'd love it, not only because of the beer scene, but you'll get a lot of like rock, like dive bars and that you wouldn't even know about. You'll just like walk down some random alley or down a buddy into a basement, and there's like awesome as gigs playing at like 4 in the morning and shit. I love that sort of stuff. But yeah, back to the beer. So yeah, pretty good. I know with the Matriarch, like the original, the hazy, I'm actually a pretty big fan. It's like tropical citrus, like good mouthfeel on it. It's like, yeah, I just remember it being sort of like a smooth and creamy. I don't know if it's a double or a single hazy IPA, but with this being 6.9, I'm assuming it's similar ABV, so it's probably a single. But yeah, this is really good. It's got that caramel toffee that I love in a Westie. It sort of makes it like old school, a little bit sticky, bready, biscuity. And then, yeah, this huge pop of citrus. It's like pithy grapefruit, orange. Yeah, just epic amounts of pine. I love it. And like a sharp bitterness. Hmm. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. I reckon a score for this. It's quite impressive. I'm going to say a 4.4 out of 5. Most people wouldn't rate a West Coast IPA probably over a 4, but they're dickheads. This is like banging. Like I'd have this over a lot of hazies that are out there. But I love my Westies. West is best. So yeah, if you can, try some Co-Cons. Probably only in Australia. I don't know if they're in the Asian market. I don't think they'd be in the UK or US. But yeah, good brewery, and I need to get back there someday. So what did I say? 4.4 out of 5. Yeah, I might have to do the original on the channel too. Be pretty cool. So yeah, it's 12:30 a.m. here, Saturday morning. So unless I see someone doing a panel and I jump on for a beer, I'll probably end up going to bed, and I'll be about in the morning to see which UK and US folk are about. So cheers everyone for chiming in, and we'll see you again soon.